they meet the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies.
Yes.
Relevant. Those who want to invest in minerals will meet Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development.
Yes.
Those who want to invest in agriculture, because remember the other people want to invest in agriculture, adding value to our products.
Yes.
For export, will meet the Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Trade. I will also make sure that they meet the head of state.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They will meet the president and the Uganda Investment Authority, Ministry of Finance,
Yes.
Ministry of Privatization,
Foreign Affairs.
and Foreign Affairs. Everybody will be present. Tell them they are welcome. I'm a farmer. So
Thank you. That's wonderful. That's excellent. Thank you so much.
But even here is local chicken.
Hello. How do you hold it? Oh, hi. Hello.
Then a bag of rice.
Now, last night, the returning officer from the Electoral Commission, Ibrahim Kakembo, who was the presiding officer for the elections of workers' representatives to the 12th Parliament, officially declared Fiona Naku as the directly elected female workers' member of Parliament. Naku defeated incumbent Woli Agnes Kunihira alongside other contestants. He also declared the other 4 directly elected workers MPs, they being Arinetwe Rwakajara, Namubiru Rwabasaija, Margaret, and these are both incumbents, new entrants, they being Annette Birungi and Gilbert Agaba, were elected from a 19-member contest. Our reporter Ivan Juko gives us more.
The contest for the 5 special interest group seats, particularly for the workers' MPs, was held yesterday at Chibuli Secondary School grounds. Last evening, after the vote counting for the female workers' representative seat, Fiona Naku, who previously served as the youth representative but could not run again for the same seat this time, defeated 4 of her colleagues in the contest to secure the female workers' MP position. Fiona Naku, who narrowly defeated her main political rival Abwoli Agnes Kunuhira, alongside the other 3 contenders, garnered 290 votes in a hotly contested election where she emerged the victor. Fina Mugerwa got 1 vote, Atukunda Victoria Abigail 27, and Mwesegwa Anna Anita 10 votes. After her victory, Fiona Naku thanked her supporters for trusting her and pledged to offer genuine service.
I'm a very social person, and I relate well with people, and that is what has made me popular across the country. And I believe I'll use my ability to make sure that we work together as a team. I want to congratulate all the participants that we were contesting with, especially the incumbent. It's been a tough one. She has put up a good fight. Congratulations, but we always have one winner.
Later, counting of votes for the other 4 workers' representative seats started stretching to 11 p.m. This tightly contested race concluded with Arinetwe Rwakajara and Nambiru Rwabasaija Margaret. Both incumbents as well as new entrants Gilbert Agaba and Annette Birungi announced winners. Returning Officer Ibrahim Kakembo declared all the 5 winners of the workers' special interest group seats, Fiona Naku, Arinetwe Rwakajara, Nambiru Margaret, Gilbert Agaba and Annette Birungi, officially confirming their election to Parliament.
Anita Independent 10. Naku Fiona Independent. Accordingly, as the returning officer, the election of workers' representatives to the Parliament, and in accordance with Section 72 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, Cap 1771, I declare the following who have obtained the largest number of votes to be elected candidate for workers' representative in Parliament. Birungi Annette, NRM, 350. Gambino Wafshaiza Margaret 207.
The winners spoke to UBC.
The workers of this nation, they know that I'm capable of solving issues, also the challenges when they were attacked. Like say people were deleted from the workplace, and they know that I can do something about it because for the last parliaments I've been doing the same.
We still have a problem with the minimum wage, and the last time we met the president as the workers of this country last year. So I intend to go to every sector and we see and I consult them to see how we can get their views on this minimum wage.
Of course, I thank the workers for realizing that my passion, my hard work, and I push everything to make sure that the workers of this country are happy, to make sure that they work and transform our country.
I will do what I promised them. Issues to do is working conditions, issues to do is non-casualization. We are going to put our energy and fight casualization of workers.
Workers' representatives to Parliament are not elected through general popular vote, but rather through an electoral college system. Electoral college committees are made up of delegates drawn from labor unions, non-unionized workers, and affiliated organizations. Amwai Vanjuko for UBC.
Thanks, Juko, for that story there. Now, as the composition of the 12th Parliament continues to take shape, the ruling National Resistance Movement continues sweeping the elections, with the latest being Workers' MPs contest, where NRM grabbed all the 5 slots last evening. Now, the total of 25 candidates competed for the Workers' MP slots. The 5 positions included one for national female workers, which attracted 5 candidates. The other 21 candidates competed for the remaining 4 positions. Fiona Naku, an independent NRM-leaning candidate, narrowly defeated Agnes Kunihira, who was the official NRM candidate, with 290 votes against Kunihira's 287 votes, a difference of only 3 votes. Other elected workers' representatives are Annette Virunji, Gilbert Agaba, Renate Ruakajara, and Margaret Ruabshaija. Voting of workers' MPs is done in electoral colleges comprising of 630 delegates from 59 workers' union. Now, each workers' union sent 10 delegates, making a total of 59 delegates. Also, 10 delegates came from the Central Organization of Free Trade Unions, COFTU, and 10 from the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU. Other delegates constituting the Electoral College come from the non-unionized workers from the 4 regions, bringing in 10 delegates. Now, looking at the pie chart, the NRM holds over 71.4%, commanding, of course, a very strong majority of more than 350 lawmakers, followed by independents with 12.7%. The National Unity Platform, Uganda's main opposition party, comes third with 10.1%. Uganda People's Congress, Uganda's oldest political party, with 2.2%, and the Democratic Party with 1.2%, among others. In total, the 12th Parliament will comprise more than 529 members of Parliament. Now, of these, 499 are directly elected, alongside 10 UPDF representatives, 5 youth MPs, 5 older persons MPs, 5 MPs representing persons with disabilities, and 5 workers MPs. is taking shape every other day. Now, the voting of special interest groups, including persons with disabilities, elder persons and youth councillors representing municipality, are focused on voting of youth councillors only, which took place at Entebbe Municipal Council. Elder persons and PWD's representatives were not voted since all candidates were unopposed at the municipality level.
Entebbe Municipality has not voted for elder persons and PWD's representatives since all were declared unopposed.
Electing the female youth and the male youth. And then we have two, and also we have the independents. But the independents are leaning NRM in this elections for the youth. As I had earlier said, that for the PWD at the municipal level, we already won.
The voting was only for youth councillors at municipality level, which was conducted amid a strong heavy security deployment. Frank Chaze, the Entebbe RDC, also head of security, said security was tight to uphold sanity during the elections.
So this time around, we didn't want to take chances. We have prepared very, very well. We have given security, and that is our part, so that these people vote peacefully and they go back home and do other things. We've just gone through a peaceful election in Entebbe. I think Entebbe was the most peaceful in the entire country. We voted so well, so well. We deployed, we had maximum preparation, and the president won. For the first time, the president had never won Entebbe. This is the first time we are delivering victory.
The candidates include Ibrahim Mwagara, male youth councillor on NRM ticket, competing with Wakowa Emmanuel, independent, and Nabukela Mariam, NRM, competing with 3 independent candidates.
We have had the elections previous for the president and also for the member of parliament. The president got 60,000 plus, and the member of parliament got 16,000 plus, whereby we have won the difference of 9,000 towards the following us was another candidate for no. As we talk now, we want to paint Entebbe yellow.
However, supporters of the independent candidates decry irregularities in the voting exercise.
Ekisanja kino tubadde tufunyemu nti tulina n'omukisa nti President waffe Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yawangula akalulu mu Entebbe municipality nga tukimanyi nti tuddiziddwa NRM mu Entebbe, naye abasajja abakulu abali mu kitundu ky'Entebbe bagenda kugoba abavubuka mu NRM.
As a leader for the party, I groom leaders to come on board. We are there. We told also that so to be here, I am mandated.
At the close of the election, tallying started. The returning officer, Scovia Owesije, said the results be transferred to Wakiso district for formal declaration of the winners.
Now, the wife to imprisoned politician Dr. Kizza Besigye, who is also the executive director of UNAIDS, Engineer Winnie Byanyima, has raised concern over the deteriorating health of her husband at Luzira prison. Byanyima accuses the Uganda Prison Service of taking Dr. Besigye to hospital without notifying her or any family member, although the prison's spokesperson, Frank Beanie, has dismissed these allegations.
Engineer Winnie Byanyima has described what she calls the worsening health condition of her husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, who is currently in prison facing treason charges.
And he told me that he had been ill since Saturday. He had acute stomach pain and his temperature was high and he was severely dehydrated. He had refused to be treated by the prison authorities, his captors, and was insisting on being seen by his own doctor.
Byanyima says she received information that Dr. Besigye was taken outside the prison to receive medical treatment without the knowledge of his family.
They waited for darkness and they brought him to Dr. Nandi's clinic in Bugolobi. I found out I was not notified by the prison authorities. I am his next of kin. I found out in some way and rushed there.
So, nejo yatwaliddwa ne bakola test ezabadde balina okukola n'azibwayo mu kkomera era ne ripooti gye nfunye ku makya Besigye talina mutawaana ali bulungi.
She says her husband's condition requires urgent attention from a private doctor rather than prison medical facilities.
Dr. Besigye doesn't have a right to see his personal doctor. This is decided from above, and it's a long negotiation. I want to thank very much Dr. Nandi. This is the second time she has negotiated with them to have him brought to her clinic to be thoroughly examined. It's not a right.
Byanyima also accuses prison authorities of keeping Dr. Besigye in solitary confinement.
Why shouldn't he be at home? This year, in April, Besigye will turn 70. He's an old man. Why is he being bitten by bed bugs in a hot cell with no light, isolated from other prisoners, and now falling sick under mysterious circumstances?
However, the Uganda Prison Service refuted the claims, saying he continues to receive proper medical care, including attention from his personal doctor.
Tewaliwo ekitiisa oba ekirina okuleeta okwemulugunya kubanga Mwami Besigye n'abasibe abalala tebalina mutawaana.
Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested in November 2024 in Kenya and is facing treason charges. Abdul Nasir Rubama and Rogers Komagum for BBC.
Masaka Chief Magistrates Court has arraigned over 100 people arrested by police for allegedly participating in violent protests opposing the presidential election results announced by the Electoral Commission. The suspects, arrested from different parts of Masaka City, were presented before Chief Magistrate Abdallah Kaiza and charged with multiple offences, including holding unlawful assemblies, blocking roads, burning tires, damaging roads and violating the rights of other citizens.
The police in Masaka have screened suspects who were arrested during demonstrations, rejecting the presidential election results and produced in court.
We were arrested on the 17th of January 2026 around Masaka City, starting with Nyendo, where they started their roads from, Masaka City here, and
When the suspects were brought to court, no pleas were immediately taken as the court began reading out the charges. The Chief Magistrate Abdallah Kaiza says the alleged offences were committed on 17th January 2026 in various parts of Masaka City. Due to their large number, the suspects were produced in groups. They all denied the charges, with some claiming that they were arrested coming from their working places, while others say police picked them from their homes. Although all face similar charges, the court set different return dates for hearing their bail applications. Some were told to return on 23rd January, others 26th January, while other group was set for 13th February 2026. However, minors who were among the suspects were released and handed back to their parents. Defense lawyer Pius Kabiswa Chiriowa says the suspects need bail as many of them are in poor health to withstand prolonged detention.
Others also look to be hungry, and also they were affected by the congestion that has been in the cells. So I can say that their condition is not good. However, we have a feeling that they are going to get justice.
Let's now take a short break and we'll be returning with much more.
Welcome home to entertainment, to Wi-Fi everywhere, to high-speed internet, to security, to first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we're unstoppable.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800-217-200 or WhatsApp 0707-993-930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical-looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Moving on now, a newly elected member of Parliament for Kanyum County, Simon Peter Opolot, on NRM ticket, is celebrating victory after defeating former FDC party president Patrick Amuriat Oboy in the recently concluded presidential and parliamentary elections. Opolot garnered 11,558 votes against Amuriat's 3,441.
Forum for Democratic Change Party has suffered a major blow after their former party president Patrick Amuriat Oboy was defeated in the parliamentary elections for Kanyumu County.
But that is embarrassing. Why is it embarrassing? Maintain your profile where you decided to reach. Maintain that status. He is a party president. What do you want in local politics? What did you leave behind that you think you can now come and bring to the forefront? You were there for 15 years. Are you not satisfied? Or you just want to grab again something for your old age? Is that what you want to grab?
Simon Peter Opolot, an NRM flag bearer, won with 11,558 votes, beating Amuriat, who came fourth with 3,441 votes.
Amuriat and opposition in general have been riding on lies over time, telling lies that President Museveni wants to grab this, the government wants to grab people's land. So for 15 years that Power had been a member of parliament in the area, people had believed the lies as facts, but yet they were being blinded by not seeing any services being delivered in the constituency. So when I came in, they were able to have a taste of me. And they tested me and they realized that, oh, all along the NRM government is this sweet.
Opolot pledges to improve the livelihoods of his county and implement initiatives that improve agricultural productivity.
My priorities, number one, is to make sure I've fulfilled the promise that I made to my people. I promised them to restock them with sheep because I know there are cattle keepers. They like rearing livestock. So I will make sure that first is fulfilled. Secondly, to make sure that the promise that the president has made to the people of Teso and Kanyum in particular, the issue of cattle compensation is also fulfilled.
He also invited the supporters of his opponents to join hands to develop Kanyum County.
I know that these people were misled by the lies that the opposition and other candidates were perpetuating. So it is my appeal to them to come back to the fold, come back to the sheep pen, as the Bible says, listen to this voice and realize that I'm the true shepherd. I'm the guardian of the people. The other ones are hired shepherds who are running away when they see a wolf.
Oko Joseph, UBC.
Uganda People's Congress, UPC's Fred Jalameso, has demanded the immediate declaration of his victory in the Ajuri County Member of Parliament race. Jalameso alleges that he has already petitioned the Electoral Commission over the matter on ballots from 18 polling stations. Jalameso says that these ballots were tampered with.
On Monday, 19th January 2026, the Electoral Commission dismissed misleading media reports suggesting that the incumbent Member of Parliament for Ajuri County, Den Samson Oboa, had lost the parliamentary race.
Get the information, the exact information on ground, to avoid causing anxiety and excitement in the community.
Oboa's closest rival, Fred Jalameso, is also demanding to be declared winner.
Jalameso Fred, being a candidate who obtained the largest number of votes, 14,331, against the nearest rival who obtained 12,963. I should be declared as the newly elected Member of Parliament for Ajuri constituency. That is what we demand, and we demand as soon as possible.
Jalameso claims that in the 18 polling stations, whose results are scheduled for a recount on the 27th of this month, the ballot boxes were tampered with.
All the 18 boxes were brought. To the dismay of the people who were in the tally room, none of these 18 ballot boxes, the black boxes, contained any single declaration form. They were all tampered with. Of the remaining 18 polling stations, when we tally, I get 766. Now, when you add 766 to 14,331, it gives us 15,097 votes. This still gives a difference of 506, which is substantial enough, which is colossal enough for me to be declared, because the law here is simple majority. Even if
The returning officer, Lebtong District, Jessica Adong Ochen, says consultations with the Electoral Commission, a decision was taken to conduct a repeat exercise in the affected polling stations. She emphasizes that until this process is completed, no candidate can legally be declared winner in the Ajuri County parliamentary race.
Jury has 178 polling stations, but so far we have tallied results for only 160. The results of these polling stations were not tallied because of disagreements on the results as the returning officer was reading out to the public. Repeat election will be only in these polling stations in order to give us results that will cover the entire 100. It will take place on 27th of January, and in this case, candidates are not allowed to campaign because it's considered that they had already campaigned enough.
The Ajuri County parliamentary race attracted 5 candidates, but the contest remains tight between NRM's Dennis Hamson Oboa and UPC's Fred Jalameso. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Let's cross to Karamoja sub-region now, where people in Karamoja sub-region attribute the increasing NRM support across Karamoja to improved service delivery, peace and security. In the Thursday elections last week, NRM scored highly across the region.
In the just concluded presidential and parliamentary elections, NRM percentage increase in Karamoja sub-region. Amudat district was 97% in 2021, and this year 97%. Moroto district moved from 87% to 97%. Abim from 77 to 87%. Kabong scored 89% in 2021, and this year they have 92.24%. Karenga 90 in 2021, this year 91.93%. Kotido scored 83% in 2021. This year, 90.29%. Nakapiripirit district scored 94% in 2021 and 94.35% this year. However, Napak district declined from 93% in 2021 to 89% this year, and Nabilatuk from 97% to 96.39% in 2026. Karamoja leaders attribute the high NRM win to improved service delivery in health, road infrastructure and water.
Peace and security is number one. It's top of the game, and we want to continue infrastructure, the education and health services. So there's a great change that we are also need to protect.
Government that understood the plight of the Karamojong from before independence after even independence was the NRM government. It was about 5.4% of the total land coverage belonged to the Karamojong. 94.6% belong to government institutions. But the government today, NRM government decided to negotiate part of the land, which is now, the Karamojong now have every right to be proud that they also have land.
We have even light right now in the town council. We have even the schools, which the government has already built. We have the hospitals, like even this hospital of Nadunge Town Council, they can operate you. We have doctors.
Meanwhile, there was low voter turnout and a high number of invalid votes due to low or no civic education and the nomadic nature of the Karimojong.
People move from this area to the other, maybe in search of water, in search of pasture for their cows, and also maybe for settlement, because that you realize that by the time when the election time is on, or it is time for the election, gets maybe a certain group of people, because these are herders who move.
Even those who are herding animals, even those who are in the mining areas, once they get enough civic education, that is when they will take election as something very serious. That requires your participation, individuals' participation.
I think we need to also address, we should also have mobile polling stations for pastoralists so that we capture those voters.
In the concluded elections, NRM got 21 members of parliament and 5 independents. Maureen Iga compiled the story.
We don't to vote for opposition when they know to them they appreciate NRM.
Now to some rather sad news, where mourners have described former Minister for Education and Sports, Geraldine Namirembe Bitamazire, as a dedicated and disciplined Ugandan. They described the fallen Mama UPE, a dedicated servant who strived to promote government policy on universal primary education. Now this was during a requiem mass at Rubaga Cathedral. Bitamazire died on Wednesday last week and will be buried tomorrow, Wednesday, January 21st, at her ancestral home in Butambala district.
In a special way, we recognize the Right Honorable Bitamazire for championing the implementation of Universal Primary Education, UPE, during her tenure as the Minister of State for Primary Education. Her tireless advocacy for accessibility and equitable education for all earned her the affectionate and well-deserved title of Mama UPE. Her invaluable contribution to the success of many individuals, the ministry, the education and sports sector, and the country at large has left an indelible legacy that we must all strive to emulate in advancing human capital development in Uganda. Her influence extended beyond Uganda.
So she has really championed a lot. She shared her insights and expertise, advocating for communities to prosper worldwide. Therefore, her legacy is woven into the very fabric of our society, touching lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. As we lay her to rest, let us celebrate a life well lived, a life dedicated to service, love, and education. Let us honor her memory by continuing her work, nurturing the minds of future generations, and embodying the values she instilled in each of us: compassion, perseverance, commitment, integrity, and honesty.
Kino ekyoganzika ebimuli ku mukadde waffe.
And of course, Uganda continues to mourn one of its most respected educationists and public servants. Geraldine Namirembe Bitamazire, also known as Mama UPE, was a woman at the helm of Uganda's basic education development that started in 1997 of free education for all school-age going children. In her tenure of office as Minister for Education and Sports, Bitamazire was deeply tied to classrooms, policy rooms, and national leadership. She has died at the age of 84. The following is her profile, compiled by our reporter Henry Okrot.
From teaching school girls at Todoro Girls School to shaping national education policy, the late Geraldine Namirembe Bitamazire's journey was a story of commitment to developing a nation. July 17th, 1941 was the year she was born. This was in Uganda's central region, at a time when education was a privilege, not a guarantee. For her, learning became a lifelong calling. She studied at Trinity College in Abingo before joining Makerere University, where she earned a diploma in education. She later secured a bachelor's degree
and a master's, all from Makerere University, making education not just her profession, but her identity. Her career began in schools, shaping young minds as a teacher, and later as head teacher of Tororo Girls' School in the early 1970s. Around the same time, she was already being trusted with national responsibilities, serving on the board of the East African Harbours Corporation under the First East African Community. Her steady rise through the education sector saw her become a senior education officer in the Ministry of Education, and in 1979, she was appointed Minister of Education. It was a difficult time in the country, but Bitamazire remained focused on keeping education systems standing when much else was uncertain. Years later, she returned to government, first as Minister of State for Education, and later, from 2005 to 2011, as Minister for Education and Sports. She is one of the longest serving occupants of that docket. She was also Woman Member of Parliament from Mpigi District from 2001 to 2011, where she became known as a firm, knowledgeable voice on education and women issues. She served on the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women and helped found the Forum for African Women Educationalists, pushing for girls' education, not just at home, but across Africa. In 2011, political changes and new district boundaries brought her parliamentary journey to an end. She was also dropped from cabinet, closing a long chapter in frontline politics, but Geraldine Bitamazire never stepped away from service. She later became Chancellor of the Uganda Management Institute, guiding the institution in its role as a leading public training and degree awarding center. Out of public service, she was a widow to late Alphonse Bitamazire of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, a mentor and a respected elder from Bunyoro sub-region and a member of the National Resistance Movement. Geraldine Namirembe Bitamazire died on the 14th of January 2026 at the age of 84. She leaves behind a simple but powerful legacy, a life spent believing that education can change individuals and transform a nation. Henry Okrut, UBC.
A life spent well, and of course the late Bitamazire having that impact on Ugandans, especially in the education sector. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Now, the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda has cited operational inconsistencies in the 15th January 2026 presidential and parliamentary elections and challenged the Electoral Commission to improve the processing and management of results. Addressing the media, Archbishop Stephen Kazimba Mugalu called upon the Electoral Commission to address the nation on the gaps and inconsistencies witnessed in the election. The council also visited Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamore's home in Magere.
Following the 15th January 2026 election outcome, the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda has urged the Electoral Commission to strengthen safeguards in result management and tallying. Archbishop Samuel Kazimba Mugalu emphasized the need for a transparent reconciliation mechanism that is visible to all party agents and observers in real time, noting that discrepancies between polling station declarations and aggregated results undermine the legitimacy of the outcomes.
When your counting proceeded, it often prioritizes order over transparency, limiting the ability of stakeholders to verify the process.
The council also noted that government-imposed internet shutdown significantly altered the electoral environment, posing a limiting real-time verification and public scrutiny of results due to communication restrictions.
In an environment where trust in the electoral process was already fragile, the communication restrictions had implications on both electoral integrity and political participation.
They further condemned the presence of security personnel at polling stations, attributing the low voter turnout to fear caused by heavy deployment. In response to concerns over the whereabouts of the National Unity Platform presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the council visited his home in Magere to ascertain his welfare. His wife Barbara Kyagulanyi confirmed that he left home on 16th January 2026 after security personnel infiltrated their residence.
So he had to escape.
She urged the council to advocate for restraint by security agencies in their dealings with the public, alleging that the same security officers showed up last night again.
Simanyi kite bagala kubanga bankumidde muno nze n'abantu bange enaku mukaaga. Munsonyiwe tetubawadde kakunywa na kakulya kuba naffe tetulina.
Pauline Ongwet for UBC.
The judiciary says it is prepared to hear and determine all election petitions arising from the just concluded general elections. Now, this comes as the NRM legal team confirmed it has assembled more than 50 lawyers to handle any election petitions, including the presidential petition filed by Robert Kasivante challenging President Museveni's victory. The petition is awaiting hearing before the Supreme Court of Uganda.
In the final presidential results, the National Resistance Movement candidate General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni polled 7,946,772 votes, representing 71.65%. The closest challenger, Ssentamu Kyagulanyi Robert of the National Unity Platform, came in the second position with 2,841,238 votes, with a percentage of 24.72%. After the announcement of the results, Robert Kasivante, who placed sixth in the presidential race, filed a petition challenging President Museveni's victory. He claims irregularities in the electoral process, the involvement of security operatives, use of government resources, bribery, and vote rigging, among other grounds. The judiciary says it has put in place special measures to handle election petitions.
We have the human resource, we have had the trainings, we even continue, we shall have even more trainings as matters arise. So we are ready to go.
Robert Kasivante filed the petition against the Electoral Commission, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the Attorney General.
And I think I've seen it reported on social media and so on and so forth. But we as the Directorate of Legal Services and the NRM, particularly for the presidential candidates, it has to be served on the person whose result is being challenged. Well, I am not aware that he has been served, and at the moment we have not received any instructions.
The National Resistance Movement legal team says it will defend all petitions arising from the elections.
at all times, whether it is election period, whether it is not election period. We maintain generally a team of about 40 to 50 lawyers at all times. There are many matters that go on even without electoral litigation. So we are always prepared. We have sufficient human resource.
Legal experts have also outlined the laws governing election petitions.
Petition is supposed to be filed within no more than 15 days from the date of the declaration. Usually, once the parties have been served, they have 3 days to make a response.
That means that everybody has responded to whichever issues that have arisen. Then the constitutional reform comes in and the hearing takes off. What's very key is that from the time of filing, within 45 days, it should be done.
Timelines are usually very strict and very stringent. They are not subject to change because they are constitutional timelines. So I think that is the general framework.
Following the retirement of the former Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoy Owunyidolo, questions have risen about how the Supreme Court will handle the presidential election petition.
And Article 131, Article 3, it says that the Chief Justice shall preside at each seat of the Supreme Court. In the absence of the Chief Justice, the most senior member of the court as constituted shall resign.
With strict constitutional timelines and backlog of cases in the courts, how will the electoral petitions be disposed of in time?
The law provides that when there are petitions of an election matter, these matters take precedence. They're very important. So they are handled as priority. Because you see, there are decisions which will affect the entire nation that need to be decided within prescribed period.
Lawyer Wandele Ogal looks at whether presidential election petitions will serve a meaningful purpose, given the past Supreme Court decisions.
Disputes should be resolved through the court system. Mistakes are made. And these electoral processes, like a presidential petition, help us to improve where things have gone wrong.
With the swearing-in of the president-elect approaching and in the absence of the Chief Justice, judiciary has also clarified on who will conduct the ceremony.
That in such an event, those functions will be handled by the Deputy Chief Justice. It's within the Constitution. So there is no lacuna because we have the Deputy Chief Justice. And as you rightly recall, yesterday, the Honorable Chief Justice handed over to the acting Chief Justice. And that is within the confines of Article 1.
Deborah Namamonde, Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs, operating traveling on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Barra inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Welcome back. Business news now. Some traders who were affected by floods from the Nachivubo Channel in October and November last year have received relief worth over 100 million shillings. The relief targeted traders who had outstanding bank loans in banks, particularly those borrowing from Finca Uganda. While handing over a cheque worth 100 million shillings from Finca Uganda to the affected traders, Isaac Sechito, the acting chairperson of the Kampala City Traders Association, was concerned over government delay to compensate traders who suffered losses during the floods. Sechito noted that many traders lost goods and capital, severely affecting their businesses.
Businesses that were affected. In response to the floods, Finca Uganda gave relief to the affected traders that bank with us in excess of 100 million shillings, a package of 100 million shillings. Thank you. And this intervention eases immediate financial pressure, enabling the traders to restock, to resume their operations, and also begin the journey to recovery. The support has been structured with a practical understanding of the realities on the ground and the urgency required to help your businesses to move forward.
So it's incumbent upon either the Mayor, the Prime Minister, the PSST, Permanent Secretary Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, because when I went there about the same subject, they confirmed that they got the list and they are trying to see through it so that they can confirm when the people can be compensated. What is not questionable though, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that government is willing, even when I spoke to the president himself, was willing to do something. What is tricky though is, I don't know whether it's a compensation or it is a contribution. The claims that we have documented, we as Kasita to government, are sent to government, not individuals. And therefore, if it is an obligation, whichever government that comes in power takes over the assets and liabilities.
And in sports, chants and jubilations filled the streets of Dakar as thousands poured out to welcome the Senegal national team fresh from their triumphant Africa Cup of Nations 2025 campaign. From Blaise Diagne Airport to the city centre, red, yellow and green flags waved high. Drums echoed through the night and fans danced on car roofs in joy. Heroes were saluted, goals replayed in song, and a nation paused to celebrate footballing excellence. It was more than a homecoming. It was a reminder of how the Lions of Teranga unite Senegal, lifting spirits, inspiring pride, and turning victory into a moment. We bring you the highlights. And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But we do have our second and final edition of News Tonight to come your way at 10 p.m.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello everyone and welcome to this final edition of Initiative Africa for 2025. As every year we bring you a spotlight on the innovations, stories and experiences that have shaped the continent.